Just go. That's a start. Just go.
My family destroyed again when me and Corey are bowling together again. You guys Dakota?
Just do what you gotta do.
I am gonna do what I'm gonna do, Dakota.
Let's just relax, smoke another J, and all calm down.
When I already know you don't want me around, so.
I shouldn't say I didn't want you around, Dakota. I can't have you living with me.
Yeah, I
Dakota.
know, but that's just basically saying.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, why always me? Ooh, like I'm Balotelli. Ooh,
So hello, my name's David Madden. I'm the case manager here at the Crossroads Inn. So I kind of handle, as the name implies, a bunch of case management duties for the residents here on site, as well as filling in for the owner and supervising the interns, delegating duties for them and stuff like that.
So basically, we're completely swamped. All hands on deck.
So I guess my experience so far working with individuals who have experienced homelessness has kind of been wide in variance, if you might say, very different in terms of the experiences you might have. We definitely have a lot of people who have gone through very different things, people who end up here at the homeless shelter for a bunch of different reasons. So, you know, we have people who have experienced issues with drug addiction and have no money because of that, or other people who just kind of lose out on their money to pay rent, things like that, and just don't have anywhere else to go. You know, we have a pretty wide range of the type of people who end up here. With that being said, we also have pretty different types of residents who stay on site, which in turn means we have lots of people who react to our efforts very differently, to our supports very differently, some positively, some negatively. This means that some people who come on the site are very, very engaged, very willing to get involved with us in the process.
Who told you that?
Making their resume, getting involved in applying to jobs, and really being active and looking for apartments and gaining housing, which is part of our the staff's focus here. And you know, other people are very uncooperative in that way. They'll be very dragging their feet, making it difficult for us to fill out paperwork for them, make appointments for them, get them to interviews and things like that. Just very recently, we had a resident who was supposed to sit down with us to fill out an application that would have gotten him involved with an agency to get working and things like that. And when time came to actually complete that application, he was nowhere to be found. And so things like that just kind of happen around here. And so I kind of do my best to support people when they're willing to be supported, and make a bunch of different efforts in that way. And so, you know, we have different results, and I hope that at some point or another we'll find ourselves to be pretty successful. And so I think that it's important to maintain an attitude of empathy around here, just because, you know, you have to be very sensitive to what individuals who have experienced homelessness have been through and are going through, because, you know, just there are a lot of barriers that exist for them that don't necessarily exist for other people who are living and working in what you might call a more normal fashion. You know, just getting transportation to go get groceries and things like that is a lot of times seemingly impossible. So you have to maintain a sensitive, empathetic outlook while also being firm and maintaining your professional boundaries to be able to work with them to get them actually moving along the system. And so I would say that's kind of a pretty brief explanation, a brief wrap-up of kind of what some of the staff experiences here every day at the Crossroads. And I hope that in some way it was informative.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically,
Yeah.
I started at the age of 16 until now. I remember basically walking the streets every day, hungry, with my stomach not full, growling at me, telling me basically, you need to feed me, you need to feed me, you need to feed me. Certain days there were soup kitchens, certain days there wasn't. There's always a specific time to be down at the warming station.
So at that time, at the warming station, as far as like what you have to be there at 4:30, 5 o'clock?
At 5:30.
That bothered you?
Yeah, cause like the days it was cold, you know, like then your body freezes, man. And then you're standing out in the cold and you're like, I want to get in, I want to get in. And then you're basically paralyzed by the time you get in. So all your nerves and all that are basically frozen. Until I got here at the crossroads, it basically was just living off whatever was given to me, you know. It's been happening for like it was 4 years.
That's how long you've been in this situation?
Yeah,
4 years?
4 years. And I'm only 19, turning 20. So definitely what I learned now, like, just keep pushing forward, you know, and keep taking one step at a time to get where you need to go. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna hit you like a brick, and just be ready, you know.
All right, so would you say, 14 is pretty young. In this country, at 14, you're not legally responsible for yourself, right? So at 14, how did you get into a situation of being homeless at 14 years old when somebody's supposed to be legally responsible for you?
I said 16, homie. I'm sorry.
16?
Yeah, 16.
Okay, that's 3 years.
3 years, almost 4. I'm turning 20 this year.
Okay.
That's
still a long time.
That's still a long time.
That's a long time for somebody to be homeless, and you're young. So it's just like, that has to be, but that's crazy. So explain that situation.
Like how I became homeless?
And why?
I didn't know my dad my whole life until I was 16. I was always living with my mom. Me and my mom always got into arguments back and forth, screaming at each other, telling each other that we hate each other and that we want each other dead and all of that. And like, it was a healthy situation. And then I moved to my dad's. My dad would manipulate me into doing certain things that weren't right to do, you know what I mean? And then basically controlled my life and thought it was okay not for me to make my own decisions. It was about a year living with him, and then he told me that he didn't love me no more, and that I had to pack my stuff and leave. Which I tried to go back to my mom's, but my mom didn't want me back at her house. And I tried everywhere else that I could.
So he just told you he didn't love you anymore?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said to you?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And what you think the reason was?
Probably because I got a mouth on me. Talk back a lot, because I have my own opinion. I don't know. It could have been anything that I did, you know?
Okay, so if I was to say I was your dad, right, and somebody was to ask me about Dakota, what would your dad say? What would you think your dad would say?
He would say that I'm a good kid, that I'm bright, and I can make the right choice if I want to. And he would tell me that I can accomplish great things in my life. But sometimes it switches between saying good things to bad things.
Okay. All right. Question. You have any trouble with the law?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was 16, I was in foster care. The parents weren't so great. They would scream, yell at me, mentally abuse me. So one night I decided to go steal my crippled neighbor's car. And that wasn't too smart because I did it for a stupid reason, for alcohol. I got busted at Taco Bell But listen, on the bright side, I got a taco that day. So that would, come on, you gotta admit, it's kind of like get a taco, but yeah, the consequences are hard. I got probation time. I got locked up in a group home out in Albany called Vanderheiden. I couldn't get out of there until I turned 18. And then got in trouble again with the law, stealing from the store because I was cold. Needed to have some clothes. And that's about it.
Okay. So, I ain't gonna ask you that, but
Ask me what?
I mean, I know your mom just passed. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you want to talk about that or no?
I mean, it's tough, but like, knowing that she put up with so much stuff over the years, I wasn't an easy kid, and I grew up to be more mature than what people thought I was gonna be. With her gone, it is definitely tough because my mom was my best friend. She always told me what right from wrong was and always told me how to fix situations and all of that. But now that I'm by myself, this is a learning experience. And I can build myself to the top so I don't have to struggle no more, and that I can finally tell my mom in my prayers that I did it and I accomplished great things.
That's excellent. Okay. Alright, so 5 years is too long. In the next
5 years.
2 years, what do you see yourself?
A stable job, a girlfriend, and a nice house.
And how do you plan on attaining all that? What's your plan?
Keep pushing forward to the greater good and take that step when it's given to me. File applications is good. And sticking to your word.
Okay. How is school going?
School's going good. Grades are good. Keeping a steady mind. Learning lots of new things. And just looking forward to graduation.
You got anything else to say?
No.
Alright, so one last question. How's your stay here at the Crossroads with the staff, everybody? Anything? You can be honest, so.
The stay at the Crossroads can be difficult, but it's also an enlightenment because then you don't have to worry where you're going to rest your head. Each night you can have a stable place, you know? Definitely challenging.
Yeah, yeah.